Good evening and salutations, my Jade fans. You know, having Sam go to Michael's office to start grilling him about the information on Christina, where was she, you were stuck at the hip and everything like that, and all of this really culminated down to, did your dad do it? Do you know who did it? Seemed entirely pointless. Once he said, I wasn't with Christina at the time. What did Sam think she was going to accomplish by asking, or pretty much, accusing Sonny of being the one that actually killed John? What was the point of that? Like, you honestly think that he's just going to sit there and say, because she started yelling after a while, you honestly think he was going to be like, you know what? I wasn't going to say this, but because you act so nicely, yeah, my dad did it. He killed John. Like, he wasn't going to sit there and tell you, yeah, you most likely think that he did it, but he's not going to tell you that. And you knew that walking in that office. So what was the point of this visit in the first place? Her even saying that, well, would you feel okay with an innocent woman going to jail? Well, if it comes down between Alexis and Sonny, I'm pretty sure he's going to pick Sonny. So I don't even understand what was the point of the guilt trip. Now, there is one point. Well, there's a couple of points, but when Sonny is with Michael, he's like, "I killed John for the family. I did it to protect the family." Hmm. I don't know. I'm a kind of call BS on that. There was other options you could have sat there and did. You did it because you got mad that he kept coming at your daughter. There are other legal channels that you could have pursued if you wanted to go about this the right way. You wanted to put him down because he made you upset that he came at your daughter. And I get the instinct of, dad wants to sit there and protect his little girl, that fight, kind of thing. But at the end of the day, there were other ways you could have went about it. So to sit there and say, well, I did it for the family, it was like, you did it because you wanted to. Don't sit there and try to use your family as some sort of excuse. Then he sat there and pretty much congratulated his son for helping him cover up the murder. Now, yes, he sat there and said, I never want you to be a part of this world or cover for me or anything like that. I never want you to be in this position. But I'm so thankful that you looked out for me. Oh, okay. So pretty much you just congratulated your son for helping you cover up a crime and get away with murder. So when you sat there and said, I love you, son, I'm just like, that's some real twisted shit right there. like seriously, as a father isn't up there saying that to a son to congratulate him on helping him cover up a murder? Yeah. I don't know what the hell's going on with Willow. But one of the things, okay. So Willow is doing yoga before she winds up going to the hospital. And Drew, he's doing his paddle thing or whatever. My dude is damn near butt ass naked at this point. Okay? So while he's walking past Willow doing her yoga thing, she's like on one leg, right? And she sees Drew, butt ass naked pretty much. And she loses the balance and starts to fall, so he grabs her and everything. And then she just acts so awkward. Up until the point where it's like she's like, all right, well, I'm good, and then she just literally just runs away. And I'm like, there's a point after she talks to Nina, she talks to Sasha, and I'm so glad that Sasha just got right to the point, like, yo, listen, I told you that. But I'm not here to judge you. And I think she handled that situation pretty well. They're friends. She's, not going to sit there and judge her. But she did ask some important questions. And one of those questions was, is there something that's going on between you and Michael? There's something wrong that's going on in your relationship with you and Michael. And she keeps saying no. And that's the problem, right? So she starts crying and everything like that. And it's like, it's very difficult for me to feel any sort of sympathy. You did it under the most BS circumstances the first time. I got caught up in the fireworks and we just kissed. And the second time, you just kissed him the second time. I'm like, in reality, you're wrecking your home. And she's like, I don't know what to do. But I'm like, you need to find out what is going on in your relationship. What is lacking in your relationship? Now, one of the things she did sit there and say a couple weeks ago, I don't understand why she act like she didn't know, like, or why she pretended everything was okay. She basically was like, Drew does not treat her like she can't handle stuff. And Michael does. And that's a big thing. That's a big thing for her. So let's not sit there and try to act like there's no, issues that's going on. On top of the fact that she feels that he hides stuff from her. Those aren't small things. You need to sit there and get to the root of that. Like, there's things that she can do to save her marriage, but going about it in this, well, I don't know what to do, and I'm just gonna sit there and keep my mouth shut, and so it's just like y'all live together. Well, I can move out. Okay, y'all still like okay, even if you move out the Quartermains, y'all are still too connected. Y'all know too many of the same people. Like this is not gonna work. So instead of her hiding from her fear, hiding and just closing her eyes and hoping everything goes away, maybe she does need to sit there and tell Michael the truth. And then they can actually start working on counseling to get their relationship back on track. Since she keeps sitting there talking, I fought so hard for this life, but you're not doing it now. You're acting like a little kid and just closing your eyes and hoping that it goes away. So yeah, I don't feel sympathy for her. But it's not because I'm being a dick, it's because she's not actually doing anything about trying to fix her relationship. Now, Christina sees Alexis, and Christina's like, I'm going to confess. Alexis like, don't do that. It's just going to make me look guilty. It's going to come across like you're trying to paint this narrative like you're making up this lie in this story for me, and it's just going to make me look worse. Or it's going to make you look guilty. I know I didn't do it, and I know you didn't do it. The best thing to do at this point is just let it ride out. And she keeps me this thing over and over and over again to keep your damn mouth shut. The way they're playing Christina, and I've said this so many times, is that they're still playing her like she's that 18-year-old, 17-year-old screw up. And the problem is that she looks a lot older. She looks like the type of woman that I have about like 2 or 3 kids. The fact that she's still this impulsive to the point where it's like she's hearing her mother say something and she still wants to do the exact opposite. It's just very frustrating to sit there and watch this version of Christina, who should be on some level a little bit more mature than that. But this is the same woman that went to a hotel to deal with an ex mafia queen or whatever. Um, Now, Sonny wants to go to the arraignment to, show support for Alexis and Christina. And Molly pretty much kind of just talks him out of it. Like, it's not a good idea. You're not going to make her look good. How even Michael was like, yeah, it's a good idea that you didn't do that. Um, they still talk about the whole, Sonny's like, she lost her baby, which is kind of really out of pocket to sit there and say that right in front of Molly's face. Like you didn't know the arrangement was, you just totally forgot about that. Um, Molly being like, this is the same reckless woman that wound up going to the hotel and we're all in this and suffering because of this. So she makes sure that he doesn't go. They all three of them talk outside for a minute with Sam, and then the arraignment starts. Um, Alexis still representing herself, and they got a FBI prosecutor. So the whole goal at this point is to sit there and try to get bail. They both sit there and present their cases and everything, and the guy's like, yo, listen, she's a flight risk. Not to mention that she's pretty much a menace to society, but she's also a flight risk. And then the judge denies her bail, and not just denies her bail and says you will be awaiting your trial in Pentonville. So they just sending her straight to jail. Now, so if you saw the previews, Christina just starts walling out, yelling at the judge, doing all this extraness, which is something that I would sit there and see from the younger version of her. But unfortunately, because we have a woman that's like, what would you sit there and say? She's like in her 40s or whatever, like early 40s, late 30s, yelling like this, like she's still a teenager. This is the problem with Christina, or maybe just the way that she's playing her, or maybe the direction that they have her going. It's like, what age is Christina even supposed to be at this point? I mean, I know Lexi looked a little bit older than Jocelyn, maybe about 5 or 7 years, but it's like, the thing is, if Lexi actually did this scene where she's yelling and screaming and stuff like that, she still looks young enough where it's like you can see that level of impulsiveness. With Kate Mancy, her doing this just like, what are you doing? You just making the situation a lot worse. Nina comes up with this idea to help Drew out because Drew is like 4 points or whatever down the polls because his opponent is a family woman and everything like that. And so Nina's like, um, we can sit there and be a power couple to help you out and also get you away from my daughter. And there's one point where and Sasha and Nina are talking. And I guess Sasha knows about, I'm assuming maybe she knows about Nina and her bangathon sessions with Drew. There's one point where they're talking. It almost sounds like Willow overheard um, Nina kind of confessing some stuff as far as like maybe we can kind of get back on track or whatever. Um, but I couldn't tell. Apparently, I guess like she did know, but for a hot minute I thought that she overheard them talking. I don't know if again the Sasha knows about their whole thing or whatever, their hookup sessions. And the last thing is with Trina and Stella. Long story short, Trina is hiding from going back to well, she's hiding in the gallery. She's been working in the gallery a lot, but school is starting soon. And she doesn't want to go back to school because it's going to bring back a lot of memories and everything like that. And it's like she still can't move on. She still can't move forward. And, Stella's like, Spencer wouldn't want that. He would want you to sit there and not put your life on hold. So, she does her pep talk or whatever and kind of gets the ball rolling for her to start going back to school and start making a couple, at least a couple of classes or whatever to kind of, you know, slowly get her back into getting her life back on track. I guess we're just going to skip the whole therapy thing. And I get it, some people don't need it. But, I mean, the way she's been acting, I'm glad that she's starting to kind of like get, at least she was open to the idea of going back to school, so that's good. But I'm like, I felt like if that talk didn't work, I'm like, yo, this is what you need to do at this point because this is just unhealthy for so many different reasons. I also forgot to quickly mention, um, Nina came over there because Drew's having a fundraiser and she wants Sasha to sit there and cater the whole thing. But Sasha's like, I don't really know because, I've been kind of bumping heads or whatever with Tracy, and I don't want her to sit there and think like, I'm doing outside stuff when I'm really supposed to be just working for the Qs. And I'm just like, why don't you just work for Nina at this point? Like, you already have a good relationship with Nina out of everything that y'all been through. Why do you want to sit there and be dealing with Tracy Quarterman? She was extra hard on you. And yeah, you got to the bottom of why she was so hard on you. But, like, what happens next time that she has one of her little mood swings? Like, I feel like at that point, like, what are we doing? I'm going to be honest. I'm surprised she didn't actually sit there and try to work for her first. Like, that's just, like, insane. Like, why would you want to sit there? I get the whole, she wanted to be part of a family and everything like that. But I'm like, yeah, but you got to deal with Tracy. And you have options. Like, this really does not. Whatever. I feel like I feel like I kind of covered the basics of everything. If I missed anything, write it down in the comment section below. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.